This evening, before we go into the Thanksgiving meal, allow me to join with you for a couple minutes to share with you RRDS's message for 2014. And for those of you who can read on the screen, can you read together aloud with me? Always believe that something wonderful is about to happen. That is our second mantra for 2014. Always believe that something wonderful is about to happen. Tonight I want you to look into the future. I want you to stand here or sit here, and for those of you who are joining with us live from different parts of the world, to look ahead, look into your future. Imagine that I am holding a crystal ball in front of you tonight, and I'm saying, look at your life. Look into the future. What do you see? Do you see someone who is stronger? Do you see someone who is healthier? Do you see a you that is happier? Do you see a person that is living a life that is fulfilled? Do you see yourself having the blessings and the favor of God? Do you see that God's victory is with you in the next 12 months? And tonight, my friends, I would like to share with you an important reminder. It says, if you can't imagine it, if you can't see it, then it is not going to happen for you. I've said it in the negative so that it makes a difference. If you can't see it, your life. If you can't imagine it, your life, then my friends, it will be very difficult for you to make it happen. And dear friends, I want every individual, as you make your affirmation into 2014, to ensure that you are believing that always something wonderful is about to happen. Let us appreciate the words of Bhagwan Sri Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. Udharet atmanatmanam. Very beautiful shloka. Krishna Bhagwan tells. He says, oh my friend, your mind can be your own best friend, or your mind can be your own worst enemy. And therefore, when we internalize this mantra, always believe that something wonderful is about to happen, it means that we must recalibrate our thinking, our consciousness, and our projection into the future, that something wonderful must happen in the future. But what happens to the person who this year who experienced the death of a loved one? How can that person, they would say, Panditji, my relative died, a good friend of mine died this year. How can I live to believe something wonderful is about to happen? How can you tell someone who would have experienced a significant illness or surgery or ailment this year that something beautiful and wonderful is about to happen? How can you tell someone who may have lost their job or lost their earning potential? How can you tell them and make them know and live a life that something wonderful is about to happen? How can you tell someone who would have had a major disappointment, dear friends, that something wonderful is about to happen? Tonight's message is not about karma, because karma means that whatever has happened is happening, and what will continue to happen, it is based on the perfect accounting system that is this universe. And therefore, what has happened to you, my friends, it is perfect. You know why? Because it happened. And God, in His amazing wisdom, God, in His infinite understanding of what is required to ensure that this universe operates perfectly, would have caused every single one of us to experience that over the last at least 12 months. So whether it was the death of a loved one, the loss of a job, the birth of a child, the inheritance of some property, some gain or loss, my friends, 2013 has gone. We have closed that chapter. It is not that we will forget what has happened. It is not that we will not experience hurt if there was disappointment. But that is why, as I would have said to you sometime before, in a motor car, there is a reason why the rearview mirror is a small piece of glass, and the windshield ahead of you is a big forward-looking glass. The designers of the automobile was very careful and precise in the design, because it means there is a little glass to look behind. It is only for caution's sake. But if you are to get to your destination, you have to pay more attention to that big windshield in front of you. And therefore, whatever has happened, it is perfect. It is part of karma making its way, allowing us to navigate and process our past in a perfect way. And therefore, my friends, tonight, on the 31st of December, 2013, if you have not admitted it yet, tonight I want you to admit that because of your past, you are stronger tonight, you are better because your past has happened. And dear friends, that is what makes it perfect. So let's break up these words. Always believe that something wonderful is about to happen. You see, these words, it is a glance into the future. Always means, the word always. What does always mean? Make sure that every opportunity, you look for that opportunity. Always, not sometimes, not maybe, not possibly, Bhaiya from Bharat, India, welcome. Not sometimes, always believe. You see the word believe. What is a belief? A belief is some sort of subscription, or it is a subscription that there is a power, there is an energy that is beyond the human factor. There is something above us that guides, that orchestrates, that navigates, that conspires to ensure that our life becomes a particular way. And therefore, when you believe, it means that you, notwithstanding the human shortcomings in every one of our life, there will be hurt, there will be disappointment. But when you operate with a belief system, it means that you have partially handed over your reins, the reins of your life, to your master. Wonderful. You see, over this year, we would have spoken about the secret. And last year as well. And what is the secret? The secret says, whatever you think about, it expands. And therefore, you have a choice. I ask you to look back again into this crystal ball that I'm holding in front of me. Do you see a wonderful life ahead of you? Or do you see, oh gosh, pressure? Lord, why me? Lord, that is not the future you wish to see for yourself. And therefore, the word wonderful was carefully put there to manifest, to help you to enable an emotion that brings about the life, the future that you want. And therefore, project for yourself, always believe something wonderful is about to happen. Dear friends, tonight I would like to remind you that God has so much in store for you. Start making room in your thinking, because God has it waiting for you. I say that again. God has so much. God does not run out. God has so much in store for you. Start making room in your thinking to welcome that which God has for you in 2014. Dear friends, the word is about to happen means look into the future. You must have a vision for yourself and for your children as well. And dear friends, I would like to remind you that every time I speak to my children, and I'm sure you do it as well, we must teach our children, at least I tell Vandana and Keshav, that you must have a life, you must live a life and achieve more than daddy could ever have in his lifetime. You know what that does mean? You know what that means, my friends? It is not to build a sense of ego and pride in the children's mind, but it is to stretch their vision. Don't think that my life is your standard. My life is your minimum standard. And therefore, my friends, when you look into the future and you expect something wonderful to happen in your life, and in your children's life, remember, it is to stretch their vision, to enable them to think that more is possible. Because once the mind can think it, the man can make it happen. There's a beautiful saying that goes as I conclude tonight. If you have a 1-year vision, plant flowers. If you have a 10-year vision, plant trees. But if you have a vision for eternity, then cultivate people. If you have a vision of eternity, my friends, then cultivate people. This year, I want you to think and to expand. This year, 2014, your miracle is going to happen this year. Don't just believe it because I'm saying it. I want you to internalize it and know that once you can project it, it can happen. Don't sabotage your own expectations, my friends. And there, when you look into 2014, do a self-assessment. Maybe I might have to change my environment. Maybe I might have to relook some of the company that I keep that influence my thinking. Maybe I need to find a place where I can dream. Maybe I need to take more time to do things that are important to me. Dear friends, when one dream dies, dream another dream. I say that again. When one dream dies, dream another dream. Because if you don't stand for something, my friends, you will go for anything. And therefore, as I urge you to look into the 2014, the year 2014, just a couple hours away, my friends, I am asking you to please repeat with me this affirmation. This is going to be a great year.
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 God's favor is surrounding me.
God's favor is surrounding me.
God's hand is actively guiding my life.
God's hand is actively guiding my life.
Always believe.
Always believe.
I will always believe.
I will always believe
That something wonderful
that something wonderful
is about to happen to me.
is about to happen to me.
Then, my friends, go now. Don't leave. But go now into 2014 and make that affirmation happen. Tonight, as I conclude this very simple message into 2014, always believe that something wonderful is about to happen. I would like to close tonight with a very beautiful story. And this story goes like this. One day, a man's daughter called a local Panditji to come and pray with her father who was sick in the hospital. And when the Panditji arrived in the hospital, he saw the man lying in bed with his head propped on 2 pillows. But something strange. There was an empty chair next to the bed in the room. An empty chair, friends. And the Baba assumed that the old man, someone told him that he was coming. And he asked, "Did you expect me?" And the old man lying on the bed said, "No, who are you? Who are you?" And the Babaji told him his name and he said, "I came to see you, but I saw the empty chair and I figured that you knew I was going to show up." And the old man said, "Oh yeah, the chair." The chair. "Would you mind closing the door?" He's telling the Babaji. And as the Babaji closed the door, the old man spoke to him. He said, "Baba, I have never told anyone this before." He said, "Many times that I went to the temple and I heard Panditji saying, 'Pray to God,' and he explained how to pray to God, it always went over my head. But 4 years ago, a good friend of mine said to me, 'Krishna is always holding your hand. Krishna is always walking with you.' And a friend of mine told me, 'If you want to pray, put a chair next to you and see Krishna on that chair and have a conversation with Krishna.'" The old man said, "Babaji, I have tried it and I love it so much. Because when I speak to Krishna sitting on that chair, I know and I feel that something wonderful is about to happen." Friends, So I tried it, the old man said, and I loved it. So Babaji put some tulsi water in his mouth. Babaji gave him chandan, prayed with him, and Babaji went back home. And 2 days later, Panditji got a call from the man's daughter. Baba, father has died. And Panditji asked, did he have a peaceful death? And the daughter said, Panditji, absolutely. Earlier in the afternoon, I visited Pa. We prayed together. He hugged me, he kissed me. And then I bade him farewell. I am sure he would have died in peace. And the daughter concluded the conversation by saying, Panditji, something strange I've seen, and I don't know if it is a good thing or what it means. Panditji, when I got into the hospital, when they called me and told me Papa has died, when I got to the room, I saw Papa with his head, his knees on the ground, and his head resting on the chair. Papa, what does that mean? Dear friends, you know what that means. It means that even in his last moments, he knew and he believed that something wonderful is about to happen. Dear friends, don't think, notwithstanding where you are in your life, whether you're a child, whether you're a young adult, whether you're an elderly adult, or whether you are beautiful as our Ajis in our temple here this evening, tonight, always know that notwithstanding where you are, when you project into 2014, know that God is always there with you. When you know who is walking with you in every moment of your life, my friends, you will never experience loneliness or fear again. So tonight, as we conclude, always believe that something wonderful is about to happen. Prem se bolo Shri Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki